Watch your city burn while Democrats tell you crime is down. A kidnapper walks free on cashless bail in Seattle. An 88-year-old man has a stroke after thugs ram a truck through his jewelry store. Memphis workers shot outside McDonald's while news crews film. Democrat Jasmine Crockett actually said it out loud. Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. That's their plan. Let it happen, clean up the bodies, and repeat. When Trump's had enough, he's now calling for RICO charges against George Soros, saying the chaos is coordinated, funded, and deliberate. From ICE battles with Antifa to political assassinations, America's streets are a war zone. And the people funding it, well, they're about to face justice. So keep on watching. Now, before we jump into today's news, here's a quick word from our sponsor, HYPAF Technologies, trading under HYPAF on the U.S. market. As President Trump puts the spotlight on crypto and pushes forward policies to keep America ahead in the digital asset race, HYPAF is charging ahead with next-generation crypto mining technology, expanding on their multi-million-dollar crypto treasury that already includes Bitcoin and Ethereum, and aiming to position itself to benefit from pro-innovation laws and executive orders. This is a complete diversified company that gives you one-stop exposure to the entire crypto sector without having to pick and choose individual projects. Honestly, I could talk about them all day, but Trump's bold pro-crypto stance says it all. For everything you need to know, check out the link in the description below, hyperbit.ca, and we thank them for sponsoring this program and making it possible. So we're learning now, Donald Trump has stated other cities are on the list. As you know, we've been covering that the National Guard, ICE, deploying in Chicago, Operation Midway Blitz, cleaning up Washington, D.C. Well, now he has more cities on the list. President Trump on Fox and Friends this morning had this to say.
Going to Memphis. We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
that's the next city.
Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington. I would have preferred going to Chicago. We're going to Memphis. Memphis is...
that's the next...
Memphis is next. Governor Bill Lee says for months I've been in constant communication with the Trump administration to develop a multi-phase strategic plan to combat crime in Memphis, leveraging the full extent of both federal and state resources. The next phase will include a comprehensive mission with the Tennessee National Guard, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Memphis Police Department, and other law enforcement agencies. We're closely working with the Trump administration to determine the most effective role for each of these agencies to best serve Memphians. Quite a lengthy post there. Senator Marsha Blackburn, 13 hours ago, real Donald Trump just announced he's sending the National Guard to Memphis. Thank you, Mr. President, for restoring law and order in Democrat-run cities that refuse to crack down on violent crime in favor of soft-on-crime agendas. Let's make Memphis safe again. Rapid Response 47 posting this 10 hours ago. This week in Memphis, Tennessee, community shaken after 4 children shot inside a home. This is not the first time it's happened. There's probably like 3 other times this has happened before. As President Trump said, Memphis is deeply troubled, and he is going to fix it. Here's a local news report.
Our Memphis police say 2 suspects are on the loose after 4 children were shot inside a home in Hickory Hill. Good evening. I'm Joyce Peterson. Thank you for joining us. Memphis police say the shooting happened just before 10 Sunday night on Rosewind Circle. That's near Crump and East Rains. Action News 5's Michaela Redmond talked with neighbors too terrified to show their faces on camera.
It was here in this Hickory Hill neighborhood where those 4 children were struck by gunfire and taken to the hospital. While it's seemingly quiet, crime scene tape and bullet holes remain. The white panels of the home riddled with bullet holes. A window smashed with pieces of glass taking over the pavement below it. It's almost as if this home on Rosewind Circle turned into the target at a firing range.
They was loud, like boom, 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 like real loud. I had went to the ground because it was so loud and so it sounded so close. Everybody got on the ground. I just know when I heard shooting to get on the ground.
I came across this resident who didn't want to show her face on camera after knocking on several different doors in the neighborhood. During that scary situation, 2 15-year-olds, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old inside of the home were all struck by gunfire. Someone inside of the home spoke with me briefly through their Ring camera.
I really can't tell you guys anything much like that, but just a lot of stuff happened last night, and I'm sorry I can't take it.
According to the Memphis Police Department, these are the two suspects, both thin black males and wearing masks. MPD says the two fled on foot after opening fire on the home.
It sounded like they was coming for our house too, but it's not the first time it happened like this. It happened it's probably 3 other times it's happened before.
Taking a look at the Memphis data hub, over the past month, within a quarter mile of the surrounding area, there have been 9 incidents, including burglary, shoplifting, simple assault, motor vehicle theft, and the shooting last night, which MPD confirmed is listed as an aggravated assault.
So President Trump vowing to clean up Memphis next. This was posted 72 hours ago. The predator who tried kidnapping a barista just outside of Seattle has been released on cashless bail.
Guerrero, the early morning hours of August 18th. Surveillance footage at a Ladybug Espresso in Lakewood shows this bikini barista serving a drink to a customer who then violently grabs her through the window, ripping her shirt. Screen captures give us a good look at Ezekiel Guerrero, the 19-year-old that Lakewood police tracked down a week later in Kent. You can see him here in handcuffs.
Is that you? Yeah, that's me.
Guerrero keeps repeating he was not in the right state of mind.
It was just a flash. The moment I realized what I did, I let go.
Despite, according to police documents, Guerrero admitting to grabbing the young woman, he pleaded not guilty at his arraignment and is out of Pierce County Jail with a first-degree attempted kidnapping charge. Early morning hours of August 18th.
Out on bail. Lovely. 88-year-old San Jose jewelry store owner has a stroke after being savagely knocked down by one of the felons that drove an SUV through the front of his business during a robbery. This post brought to you by Gavin Newsom, 2028, reminding you that crime is down. Oh, 88 years old in San Jose. And, of course, Jasmine Crockett. Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Just when you thought Democrats couldn't get any dumber, Jasmine Crockett opens her mouth again. Nick Sortor posting this video of her apparently on a show called Grounded, Fox News.
That is what I want to be clear that, law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, okay? That is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to solve crimes, not necessarily prevent them from happening, per se. I want to be clear.
Yeah. Okay, so then why do you station police officers outside of events? Julio Rosas posting this 12 hours ago. ICE is now ordering protesters to disperse from the road since they're obstructing federal operations. Warnings of crowd control munitions being used if they don't. Anti-ICE protesters blocking the road outside of an ICE building in Broadview, Illinois. Special response team came out to keep the driveway clear. there was the call. You heard that woman scream it, calling them fascists. Poison continues to spew. This user, Ian Zhu, time to treat Antifa as domestic terrorists. Project Constitution posting this 4 days ago. Chaos erupts in San Francisco as ICE officers clash with mass Antifa protesters. This is the standoff. San Francisco. My goodness. Broadview, Illinois. President Trump on Fox and Friends.
Is a disaster. Look, almost every city that's in trouble is run by Democrats. Cashless bail is a disaster. When they came out with that, and I think it started in New York, I have to tell you, but when they came out with, so somebody kills somebody and the judge says, all right, come back to trial in 10 years and, go out, and then he goes out and kills somebody else. Cashless bail has to be ended immediately. Sanctuary cities are a disaster, but it's a Democrat. There are a couple of bad Republicans places, and we'll fix them up. By the way, the Republicans want me to come in there so badly. Look, almost every city that
17-year-old worker outside of McDonald's in Memphis, Tennessee, Sunday.
Well, new tonight, we're getting more insight into a shooting at a McDonald's in Memphis Sunday afternoon. We were there as chaos erupted at this crime scene off Winchester in the Hickory Hill neighborhood after a 17-year-old was shot. Here's WREG's Shay Arthur with what we know in the case.
It's back to business as usual at this Hickory Hill McDonald's off Winchester. Employees inside aren't speaking about the shooting Sunday afternoon, but witnesses and police records indicate the shooting hits close to home, with the victim being an employee, a 17-year-old boy who was injured outside of the fast food restaurant. But tonight, there's even more questions. While we were on scene for this incident yesterday afternoon, our cameras were rolling as we watched MPD officers chase a man from the crime scene at McDonald's, later tackling him at a nearby park. We were
just insane. Insanity everywhere. President Trump talking about the crackdown in D.C.
in terms of crime. Look at what we did in D.C. We took D.C., probably the single worst place in the country in terms of crime. There's no crime. It's a crime-free area. I went to dinner the other night, stood out in the middle of the street, did interviews with you guys, but I did interviews right in the middle of the street. If I did that 6 months ago or a year ago, I would have about a 30% chance of being here to talk about it.
We're getting shouted down.
And it's amazing. D.C. is now a great safe. Now we're fixing it up physically, too. Mm-hmm. We're putting in new medians. We're going to give everything a little coat of asphalt so we don't have potholes all over. Filling a pothole is fine temporarily, but they'd fill a pothole and never touch it for 10 years. Right. Old potholes don't look good. We're going to fix it up. We're going to make it beautiful at a very minimal cost. And we're going to have the most beautiful capital in the world. But even more importantly than that, it's very safe. People would come from Iowa, they'd come from Indiana, and their son would be killed. They'd be killed. And now you can come and you can enjoy. I was very embarrassed because I had the president of Poland in, and they started asking me about D.C. a couple of weeks ago. And I said, we're very proud of the fact that nobody's been killed this week. And he looks at me like, head of Poland. He says, whoa, is that? And he said, well, and I'm telling the press, they're doing the little thing in the Oval Office. Our great Oval Office, our very upgraded Oval. And the press is asking me, well, what about that? He said, we haven't had anybody killed in the last 3 weeks, and it's been like 9 years since nobody's been killed. Every week, somebody's been killed for years, and we haven't had crime. And they said it's down 87%. I said, what about the 13%? Why wouldn't it be? It's down 100%. Right. So you'd be very proud of your capital. You can go there now, and by the way, business is booming. Restaurants are booming, and this all took place we really did it in 12 days, but now it's better.
President Trump declaring that the administration will be looking into George Soros' funding of paid protesters as a RICO case.
Agitated. We don't want to go into a hostile. By the way, the people will greet us.
Right.
But they have professional agitators. Mm-hmm. They're professional.
They're paid.
I had one the other night. I went into a restaurant, and this woman stood up. I looked at her immediately. She had money. She wasn't serious. They get paid for it. They're professional. We don't want to go into a hostile.
Polymarket reports 11 hours ago, Trump announces RICO investigation into Soros. Trump announced they will be investigating Soros for supporting left-wing organizations. And Elon Musk says he stands with Trump in calling for the arrest of George Soros. So this is only the beginning. We're going to keep tracking all these things as President Trump cracks down on the source and the locations. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is the coordinated destruction of America, plain and simple. When a Democrat congresswoman admits law enforcement shouldn't prevent crime, she's telling you their plan. Let chaos reign, release the criminals, defund the police, and act surprised when grandmothers get brutalized and workers get shot. Trump sees through it, and that's why he's targeting Soros with RICO. Follow the money, and you'll find the puppet masters. Every burned business, every released predator, every dead conservative, it's all connected. They want you afraid to speak. They want you afraid to work. They want you afraid to live. But Trump's message is clear. Don't live in fear. Fight back at the ballot box. The same people who orchestrated the crime wave are the ones who radicalized Charlie Kirk's killer. It's all one operation. So here's my question. Should George Soros face RICO charges for funding organized chaos in American cities? Drop a yes or a no. Let's have a conversation down below and show them that we will not surrender. Get some gear from the Next News shop because we are taking back our country.